Thanos in the house.
In the house. What a blustery day. Welcome to Content Penny the Show with Travis and Dylan. I'm Travis.
I'm Dylan.
Podcast that takes place in Austin, Texas. Don's Depot, our favorite bar in the entire world. And that's not a lie. We're live on a bar patio.
That's true.
We've been doing this for almost 6 years. Over 6 years.
Almost 7 years.
Almost 7 years. Jesus.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Since before the internet.
Since before the internet. Before there was a genre of podcast, two white people explain things to your ears. But that's what we do. We like to hang out here. We'd like to have some drinks and talk about things that happen over the week, usually with some interesting people. Otherwise, we just like to talk about things and enjoy each other's warmth and company. It's almost summer here, and
Or is it?
Or is it? Yeah. Oh, I have a thing for that. Didn't know it. Yeah, kind of swapping those things out. Again, this is our new board. So, but yeah, it's kind of a blustery, weird day. So if it gets loud, it's the roof of Don's Depot trying to leave,
Literally coming off the rafters.
trying to get as far away from us as possible. A little bit about me. No. Yeah, so a couple things that I want to talk about tonight. A couple movies that I finished. Obviously, like I said to Dylan off air, I did finish Glass, but I did watch some other things recently that I'd like to talk about. You have not seen Glass, which is the third movie in the Shyamalan
God bless you.
Unbreakable universe. Thank you. So we won't talk about that, but I do want to talk about Pixels, and we'll get to that later in the show. My answer might surprise you.
Well, there was a recent comment on our collective Facebook feed somewhere about a Pixels joke. So.
Yeah, I made that joke. Yeah.
Yes, that was a good joke.
Thank you. Because it does make sense. Because somehow the best actor in that movie is Kevin James.
The joke basically was
After Trump, President Kevin James makes a lot more sense. Yeah. Oh, the only thing in the Pixels movie that makes sense is
President Kevin James.
Yeah. Because honestly, he's just fine. He's just a Kevin James. Whatever. I'll talk about that later. Who cares? But before that, what's been up, dude?
Yeah, stuff, junk, usual.
Stuff, junk, usual, yeah. Job search doing okay.
It's out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anyone's listening and they want to hire a fluffer,
Well,
I mean, you need money. Go straight at whatever points your way.
what color's my parachute? Yeah.
Got to make sure to get the year version of that every year because it does change.
It does change, yeah. Yeah, my version still says travel agent is a job. So.
I think that's coming back. Maybe we should make that come back at least,
Actually, it has a couple of times. I think we've talked, maybe not on the show, but we've had some friends who do a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
And there was, I think it was maybe a year ago or so, there was some service that popped up that was offering like you don't make a plan vacation. You just, you just pay us X dollars for a different different levels of travel. Then we send you on an adventure that meets that budget.
Yeah, I was actually trying to remember the name of that. Here it goes. Yes. Yeah, that's actually, it's a really rad concept.
Oh, that still exists?
Let me see, actually, because Pack Up and Go, I guess is what it was called.
Sure.
It was a startup at that point, early, of course, preface to that conversation was we have the foreign correspondents, our buddies who like to go out and vacation and call us and tell us what's going on. Been all over the world. Eventually, we'll get to Australia and die because of spiders or something. But I found this thing. It's like you choose which weekend you can take a 3-day vacation, and you tell them the things you don't like to do, or like if you want to be close to the beach, or if you want to, if you only want to fly, if you don't want to be in the bus, etc. And then they plan all of it. And like the week before, they say bring these things, but they still don't know. It's the day of when you get to the airport is when you find out you're going, and that's so interesting.
I completely get that.
Yeah.
But I would never, ever want to do that.
Oh, it's also expensive. If someone's listening, packupgo.com. would like to send us on one of these and change our minds, you know.
There you go.
Yeah. Because I like the randomness of it, and like exploring things is nice, but like if it's only in the United States, like I don't know how surprising I would be. Like, oh, because like, oh, you're going to Boston, like. Well, I spent $700 for you to tell me to go to Boston and walk around downtown. Like that's not, that's not adventurous.
That's where I kind of get that weird. I get it.
Yeah,
but I also don't think I'd ever use that.
Yeah,
unless maybe there was more, in some capacity, more identified. Like this is going to be a trip to a area that I'm interested in traveling to.
Right.
Then, so for example, if they said this is a trip that's in New England. Okay.
Yeah.
As long as they just don't send you to Boston.
Right.
But in the context of like, this is gonna be like a 3-day weekend, but you're gonna have like a day here, or you're gonna do like a road trip from this place to this place, that's fine. But yeah, I'd have to have at least that one interest level before I can make that purchase decision. Like, just tell me it's this.
Yeah.
Tell me it's 3 days in the Northwest. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Don't say it's 3 days in Toledo.
Sure. Right. You're going to fabulous Utah. Bring your booze. I mean, especially if it's like off-season skiing, like that's not a thing, you know. So, but if they were somehow able to do some like really fancy stuff, like Scott's Cheap Flights is a thing that I've like really attached to, like $40 a year, and like you just get like these updates of Chile for $200 from Austin, like awesome. And then there was one that was like, I can't remember where it was. It was like, let's just say something crazy, like the Maldives for like $115. Mistake flights. You can only get for giving them $40. Brought to you by Scott'sCheapFlights.com, where like they literally just made an oopsie and someone got the plane ticket. Nice. And they're like, oh, fuck, so we have to keep doing this. And they say, like, get in.
Yeah, that's cool.
For like 90% discount or whatever. This is super cool. But that's me planning a vacation based on someone saying, hey, this thing's available.
Yeah.
You know? If I was going to give someone $700 and they didn't like make some cool kung fu happen, but the same thing is like there are people out there who do care about travel in such a capacity that they're able to make a whole startup on it. We're like, we know how this works. We can make money off of the deal in the long run. I just don't want them to make money off of it. That's the problem. I want them to be like, well, give us $500. You're going to fucking Japan, you know, like, which is impossible for $500. For 6 months, you're the emperor. But yeah. But I'm sure, like, we know for a fact that there's very rich people out there who don't plan these things.
No. See, that's the other side of that coin, where the travel agent still does exist, but it's not an agency per se. It's the assistant to the assistant who makes $100,000 a year to make sure the boss doesn't know they have any problems in their lives.
Yeah, that's like a vacation anesthetist or something. Like, you know, they have like that on that thing on their cards, and like just made it up. Like the dude, there was a dude who called himself a music sommelier. Like he made up the position. His thing was that he understood music well enough that he started selling his product to professional, like to this like a hotel in California or LA or something like that, wherein they would tell him beforehand, like, you know, David Bowie is coming. And he would set it up so as soon as David Bowie would walk in, David Bowie's entire experience would just be the songs that David Bowie only loves, to the point where he couldn't even notice. It was so subtle.
Interesting.
Some people who were like, from the article, I can't remember the actual stars, but there's some people who were like, they wanted to hear the music that, like, Motley Crue, like, fucking only want to listen to Motley Crue while they're walking around this hotel and having dinner. And the guy was making like $250,000 a year doing something this stupid. But it's all about having a plan and go and doing it. So go be a travel agent. You know? Vacation anesthetist.
Nah. Not my jam.
Fair.
Only because that's a customer I don't want to ever have to talk to.
Sure. Yeah.
The person goes, well, it said I was going to get this, or you said 4 stars. This is clearly only a 3.5.
Yeah, 3.25.
It's like, yeah, I'm not going to fuck with that.
Yeah. What are you saying, that rich people have problems? You saying rich people can be snobby?
Oh, they'll tell you all about their problems. They'll gram it.
Yeah. Especially if you're not like, well, an actual rich person therapist probably pays so fucking much money to do exactly the same thing. Except for just drive a better car. Have a fancier little aquatic feature in their office or whatever. Oh, this couch is so nice. What horse is this made out of?
Secretariat.
Yeah. This is Seabiscuit. Remember Mr. Ed? You're laying on it. So anyway, tell me about your father.
This is genuine Ed.
Yeah.
No, actually, that angle I like. I like the idea of a I don't know how you even classify this as far as a educational program or whatever, or even marketing, but like the idea of a therapist who is exclusively servicing rich clients, because therapists are already sworn to client-patient secrecy to begin with.
Right.
It literally makes no difference if you are a $200 an hour therapist or a $1,000 an hour therapist. How much better are you?
I think maybe the difference. I'm never going to be rich enough to find this out. I assume that the difference is being on call or not.
Yeah. I would assume that. Actually, I would even counter that, saying the better way to be that therapist would to not be on call and say, no, my rate's $1,000 an hour. You come to my office.
Right.
I don't care how rich you are,
because I'll enable you if you can call me at any point.
Exactly. Yeah.
Steve.
If you want to hack him because it's $100 an hour, you call Jeff over there on the street.
Right. Yeah. No, because we need boundaries.
That's right. There you go.
Yeah. My boundaries is my phone is off after 5, motherfucker. Oh, he's such a revolutionary.
That's the what about Bob perspective.
Yeah.
You can't call all the time.
Yeah. I mean, again, boundaries. Very, very important.
Oh, there we go. There's a whole new business model.
Yeah. See, just this stuff.
Therapy for the rich.
I'm like, do you ever think there was going to be I mean, logically we could think of it. Yes, there was going to be a Hell's Kitchen version of bars. Mm-hmm. But did we know who the fuck John Taffer was until that show came out? And that guy's been doing it for years, I guess, consulting on things.
30 years, apparently.
30 years. What a prick.
No, he's a saint.
Trump lover. Big saint.
Is he?
Oh, yeah, he is.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, on the bullshit conservative side of I fucking love Trump because it saves me money.
Oh, I don't count that. I want to know more about that, because I like Taffer. And I like a Taffer as purely a business guy.
Yeah.
And I think what I want to dissect in that conversation is Taffer clearly does care about people and relationships with people.
He does, yes.
And that does not equate to Trump at all.
I know.
If it's just a Republican pure capitalism, I want to make money kind of thing, all right, sure, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I'm fine with someone saying they're a Trump lover if the reason they're loving Trump is because they just want to make money.
Right.
Or they like businessmen's.
Right.
Okay.
I feel like I agree with that for everyone except for Trump. If it was going to be...
I'd say it's right, but
it was going to be McCain.
I'll give you the leeway.
Or who's supposed to be the actual richest president we almost had?
Romney,
yeah. I mean, for Romney, it's it makes sense. Vote for the guy who's going to lower taxes? Yeah, totally cool. Just didn't know, for anyone to actually vote for Trump to believe that he was going to actually do anything is, amazing to me.
Yeah. Actually,
because he didn't even know what his fucking platform was day to day.
I think John Kerry actually would have been more rich than Romney.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that ketchup money, right?
Yeah, because of his wife, yeah.
Was it Heinz?
Heinz, yeah.
Oof.
Well, that and Kerry actually has his own money, too, but...
Oh, sure.
But I think she's a billionaire. He's a couple hundred millionaire is on his own.
Oh, what a pathetic bastard.
Yeah.
What a cook.
Yeah.
Letting that Heinz fuck all over him.
Dude, he's a white man who sailboards, so he's doing okay. He's doing all right.
Yeah, leave that for ex-presidents, sir.
Yeah.
Only Obama can sailboard.
Obama, I can think of 3 people I've ever seen a picture sailboarding. Richard Branson, Obama, and John Kerry. So
I have some secret pictures.
That's a level of richness right there.
Now Bernie is a millionaire. I have pictures of him sailboarding, and they are sexy. Packupgo.com. It is a really interesting thing if you've never heard of it, because
it really is.
You select your budget, you can do the little survey of what you like, what you don't like, and then they send you out on stuff, and it's all a big surprise, and it's nice. But yeah, I mean, I'm with you. If they gave it to us for free, yeah, let's fucking try it out.
Oh yeah.
But it's as it is, my wife doesn't know what her schedule's like, so for me to say hey, a month from now, make sure you have these 3 days off so some strangers can tell us what fun we're going to have. Absolutely fucking not. If we can carve any time out, we're always going to go to Hawaii.
Yes.
We're always going to go to the big island because it's the best. And, just have a good old time and not be worried that our our flight this morning is going to. Oh no, who's picking you up from the airport? Oh, and speaking of that too, do you see that? It's a Lyft or Uber driver. I'm not going to try. 50-50 chance. There's a story about this couple that went to the airport. I guess they were talking to their driver about where they were going, and the driver figured out they were going to be gone just long enough that he went back to their house and robbed them.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
Which is a kind of anxiety that I never thought I would had, but I have it now, So now I have to figure out where if my wife and I are ever going to go someplace, we have to stay at someone else's house. No, it has to be a stranger's house. So walk down the street and be like, oh yeah, we're in the corner of this and this. You
have to get 2 lifts.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
right.
well, you had a lift to the a mile down the road. I just need a lift to the store. I'm gonna do some shopping. I'll call you later.
Right.
And then take an Uber to your actual destination.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, split it right in half. Yeah, diversify.
So shake the tail, if you will.
Yeah.
The cops can get me now.
Well, I can get an Uber to the church and say we're just getting to the church early, and then from the church, whatever. Because what monster is going to rob a church or rob our house, knowing that we can just walk back home because the church is only 2 blocks away? It would be really weird.
Actually, the answer to that question is Steve Bannon, because he's anti-pope now. So.
Oh, cool.
Oh, you haven't seen that?
No.
Oh, yeah, he's doing a whole thing about the Pope.
Great.
He's buying an abandoned monastery near the Vatican, where he's going to start a new Jesus awareness camp to actually teach the true meaning of Christianity, not the version the Pope is teaching, because they're covering up the child rape too much.
Wait, he's going that far to do that?
Oh yeah.
What? Why?
He's going balls deep.
Then you're supposed to act locally.
No, he's
think globally.
Well, he's going locally in the context of
I know, but
building a place outside of the Vatican to no, you come here to learn the real gospel.
The fucking United States has an entire theme park about the fucking Ark, about Noah's Ark. And how dinosaurs are lies and stuff. Why leave?
Oh, no, this whole thing is to...
it must be passionate because he's not going to make money off of it, right?
No, I think the company he's buying is only $1 million, but it's only $1 million.
Sure. I have that problem all the time.
But no, I guess the idea is to invite world leaders and other religious leaders to come to this place that's near the Holy Land to teach the alternate ideas of what is Christianity.
Right. I mean, location. Yeah.
But here's one thing that you maybe disagree with or not.
Catholic real estate agent. There's another job.
There you go.
Yeah.
The crusade, if you will.
You don't deserve this ranch house.
The crusade that Bannon is on is... I'm trying to find the right words to explain this, because clearly he has an agenda that's underneath, because that's Steve Bannon.
Sure.
But his on the surface agenda is to really fight the Catholic Church's cover-ups of sex scandals.
Sure.
And so
don't they know just one documentary will fix all of it?
Well, no, and this is where I kind of wrestle, because surface-wise, that's a great place to position yourself. Under the surface, he has something else going on because it's fucking Steve Bannon.
Yeah.
And then third, apart from that thing, is that, like him or not, he's actually a very good political strategist.
Yeah.
Most people don't give him credit for. He's actually very, very smart.
Yeah.
And very, very plugged in. He definitely knows how to push buttons the right way. When he tackles something, he knows how to tackle it.
Yeah.
Which is why he was vilified by the Democrats. No, he didn't sit. He may have picked some positions that you didn't like, but he picked those positions on purpose because he knew you wouldn't like them in a way that would generate vitriol and hatred toward him.
Sure.
And stir up the Trump base. It was very, very calculated and very, very intelligent.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So picking this issue is very, very curious to me because, again, surface, it's a damn good issue.
Yes, it is. It is.
But then you have the other side where, what are you really up to, buddy?
It's just I
don't trust you.
I get that, it's the Martin Luther thing, right? Let's go up to the doorstep and start smashing information. But at the same time, it's also just really strange because I guess I just don't trust him enough to want to do that seriously. So is he going to have at least one annex in the United States where he can try to rush people up?
No, that's a really good parallel because in one case you had a person was it Luther? That's where the Lutheran.
Yeah, Martin Luther.
Yeah. The whole point of that.
Martin Luther Vandross, and this is Jackass.
Yeah, the whole point of that was to make a very declarative statement of these are things that I think are wrong with the church,
right?
And I'm willing to come forward and say things that are wrong with the church. It was not an attempt to start a new religion or a new cult or a new thing.
Right.
It was I care so much about this institution, we're fucking it up, and here's how we're fucking it up. This needs to change.
Right.
That's not what Steve Bannon's doing.
Right.
He's drumming some shit up because he wants to start some shit.
God, I just wish it would be easier. Everyone just not do it.
Religion? Yeah.
Yeah, because you know what's going to happen? It's going to be like Bannonites are going to be popping all over the fucking world or whatever. Like church according to Steve. Yeah, let's take a break.
I did it.
Yeah, he did it. Send me information about that because that's really interesting.
Yeah.
And we should share that with people who are listening to this too because I don't get it. I don't get the angle. If it is 100% literally about trying to stop a thing that we all know is a thing that we'll never be able to stop, that you have to get local because you have to get in Wi-Fi range of the Vatican for them to actually give a shit. I don't know.
If you had Hudson Hawk close to the Vatican.
Right. Yeah. Got to swing on a star.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. So why did people freak out about it so much? At worst, it's benign. You know?
Well, I had the answer, I think.
Welcome back to the show, everybody.
Hell.
Yeah. Segment 2-ish, 3-ish, whatever.
Yeah.
What we're doing. So, like I said at the top of the hour, I said at the top of the show.
On the ones.
I really want to talk about pixels. And I was thinking about this.
Bring it.
Well, I worked from home on Friday, and I decided I was going to watch Pixels. I just finished watching Red Letter Media, and Andrew wasn't there. Like, it was just me. I was just going to watch this Red Letter Media thing. I saw Pixels, and I was like, surely it can't be that bad. So the thing is that every review I'd seen on any version of YouTube was just losing their goddamn minds about this fucking movie. It's like, here's a montage.
It's one of the worst reviewed films of the year. The internet has gone insane with how much they hate this movie.
I have no words.
I went to see this travesty of a film and got my money back.
Yeah, this movie's terrible. The script is terrible.
The movie is terrible. It really sucks.
And they dropped the ball on every possible level.
It is a lot worse than you think.
Is this what cavemen felt like the first time they saw what to them must have looked like something literally eating the fucking sun?
And the sad part is that's not even the thing that infuriated me the most in this movie.
Pixels is an unmitigated piece of god-awful fucking dog shit. Its existence feels alternately like a poison or a genital infection.
It's like they're not even trying. I almost left like 4 times.
In summation, fuck this movie, fuck everyone who made this movie, and if you pay money to watch this movie, fuck you too.
So, if you don't know what Pixels is. Pixels is a movie. It was based off an animated short that someone made about a series of animated, like, computer video game characters coming to the Earth and just kind of destroying real life things. It was like this really interesting graphic composition, like, experiment, you know? It was very interesting, especially there's a scene where like Tetrises are coming in, like laying on top of a building, and as soon as they make a Tetris, like part of the building would explode and like smoke would come out. It was really cool.
Yeah, well, obviously the subplot that is through radio waves or whatever leaving Earth.
This was just the short story. It had nothing to do with any of it. It was just like, what would happen if this thing happened? It was like, very short little thing. It was awesome. So Adam Sandler, for whatever reason, decided to much like the South Park episode, Adam Sandler, aliens, and he's a video game player, whatever.
Movie I did number 433.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Awesome bot. Awesome, excuse me.
Awesome, yeah.
So in 2015, they basically took the idea and they made it into this big action thing.
Huge. Well, money-wise.
Yeah, of course, money-wise. But it's like, it's a Sony movie. Mm-hmm. It's Adam Sandler. And Adam Sandler, we know, does this thing with his best friends where he's like, I'm going to do this thing and I'm just going to glomp some people on. And the thing is, when you know that, then you have certain expectations of what their performances are going to be like, what the production's going to be like, and just it being a thing. Because Grown Ups, we've seen Grown Ups, like main character really doesn't have any problems. He's like dating the super hot one and it's like takes place in Hawaii. And so like asked all his failed SNL friends, Kevin James and David Spade and Rob Schneider, hey, let's all go do a thing. I'm flying you out to Hawaii, and you get paid for it. The worst one, of course, was Jack and Jill, where they just had Al Pacino. Like, they had Al Pacino in a literal Dunkin' Donuts commercial.
Dunkachino.
Yeah, just for whatever fucking reason.
Say hello to my chocolate blend.
Yeah, it's fucking so ridiculous. So I have an expectation of this, especially watching some review sites like Red Letter Media, Ralph the Movie Maker, people who were reviewing these movies. I have certain expectations on what they think and what they see too. But you know what I really came down to after watching the movie is two things. One, it's fine.
I agreed with that.
It's fine. And number two, like, I think we freak out too much about movies.
Well, yeah.
And I don't. Well, I mean, I mean that in a fine point, like a funnel point, is why were so many people excited about Pixels so hard that when they saw that they wanted to react by essentially screaming into a microphone or into a camera for hours and hours and hours at a time. Like, we all know no one's going to give a shit about this review. This movie's 4 years old at this point. But also, why did anyone care about those reviews in the first place for people to fucking freak out? Because it literally is, it's like Adam Sandler used to be this, like, as a kid, was amazing. You saw Pixels, right?
Yeah.
He was amazing at arcade games. He picked it up really quickly because he could see the patterns. And, like, that already is, like, establishing this idea. Like,
this episode of Chuck. Yeah.
Sure. That was ish, yeah. But established this guy as a person who, like, sees that kind of control and seeing, like, he might be an important thing. And God is not happy about this review so far. And then Peter Dinklage's character as a younger person, whatever.
I like Dinklage in that a lot.
Yeah, me too. Like, comes in and does some stuff, and he gets super upset. And so the only thing that really ties him to anything interesting is that Kevin James, his best friend from the whatever, is the president of the United States. Now, that takes a real quick turn. But also, if you don't know that, if you go in blind, it's just like, all right, fine. I guess he's a fucking president. Because who cares? It's like they're 14-year-olds, and all of a sudden they're like, 30 years later or whatever. He's like, president. Okay. But everyone freaks out about it because Kevin James can't be president. He's a fucking totally fine president. He seems like a George W. Bush president. Like a fat Romney. Like just a fucking guy. He's going through some actual weird, interesting struggles that make some interesting sense to the plot of the fucking movie.
That's true.
He's getting in trouble because he couldn't say one word in front of some fucking kids while he was being filmed. Yeah, of course. Catastrophe. Like, that's embarrassing. And then when video game characters show up and start destroying the world, he's like, man, my approval rating already sucks. Like, yeah, that's realistic. I don't want to rally on that too much. Because honestly, in movies, just like, it still has that Sony stink on it. Like, an executive definitely came in and said, oh, that Kubert character's super cute. He needs to fucking talk. Like, because the Kubert character has to explain a thing later in the Sony stuff that comes in and changes his rules and fucking whatever. Like, that happens. Because it's Sony. Mm-hmm. They suck. They always suck the life out of the fucking room because somebody.
I think you're answering all of your own question with all these different points.
Well, that's what I mean.
The reason people get up in arms is because.
But that's like fractions of that movie, though. The movie in a whole actually is a really. I'm not gonna say beautiful, but it's actually a really. It's the first Adam Sandler action movie.
That's true.
That, as far as I know, he's ever tried to produce or create. And definitely a big old validation movie. Like, him realizing that he had a purpose is like, I always have a soft spot for those kind of movies too. But like, it was not as dismal and boring and stupid. It was a big, like, it wasn't a Brockheimer thing. It wasn't a fucking...
Yeah, that's true.
It wasn't a Michael Bay thing.
Transformers. Yeah.
Like, those movies are like patently bad.
Given the choice between Pixels and Transformers, I would take Pixels every damn day of the week.
Because
absolutely.
Pixels wasn't lifeless. There was something there where they had some energy, even if they were like, "Oh, you're doing that now? Fine, fuck it."
Yeah,
like it's fine. So why did people freak out about it? So at worst, it's benign.
Well, I had the answer. I think you actually touched on all these points. Yeah. Kind of going backwards. The Sony stank.
Sure.
I mean, it's palpable when you watch most Sony movies in the past few years.
Yeah.
And it makes movie going experiences worse.
Yeah.
You feel it, you watch it, you experience it.
Right.
So as an audience member, you see it, and it's so obvious, it sucks.
Right.
Next thing is the Sandler effect in two ways. One is the fact he always just casts all his friends in
Yeah.
And then the other part of that is that Sandler had a brand that has been morphed into. It's almost impossible for him to make an entertaining movie anymore because people just go, "Oh, it's an Adam Sandler movie."
Right.
To his own, his success is his own detriment in that regard, because he's so lazy about his success, and that he does these cheap things where I'm just gonna ask my friends to film a movie in Hawaii because I can.
Yeah,
and again, that comes through, and people don't like that. They respond negatively to that.
Right.
Like that ultimate, boys' club of nepotism is not. Here's the difference. The difference between that and like the Ocean's movies. One is cool and fun because it's people who you know and love. They're having a good time together. Yes. One is Adam Sandler. Look how much of a schlub I am, and I'm just making movies for funsies, whatever.
Right. Well, but I feel like we're starting to dip into the rest of his products, though.
Well, yeah. But
looking at Pixels.
Oh, no. That's my point. Pixels I think Pixels is definitely an exception from the rule, but Sandler has created that vacuum unto himself, where people resent that because, like, hey, we don't care if you hire all your friends, just make a good movie. Sure. But he doesn't do that. He tends to make shit instead.
Yeah.
So it's like strike two against that product. So Pixels may have been benign, but these things kind of pile on and affect it negatively. And then the third thing I would point out is just nerd culture.
Right.
Nerd culture is terrible in two ways. One, a lot of it is based solely on being snarky and negative about everything all the time. Always.
It's toxic, yeah, or it can be at least.
And then two, the highly protective, for whatever reason, 80s bullshit that needs to fucking go away.
Yep.
Everyone is so protective of there's the combination of gaming and 80s. 80s games weren't good.
Sure,
they're iconic because they were first. Yeah. But it's okay to say, you know what, that wasn't really a fun movie.
No, I was saying that. So, like,
Pac-Man wasn't a good game.
all those things together. Then, like, it feels like, I'm not going to try to defend the movie as much as I'm trying to defend the fact that, like, there's.
Oh no, I'm with you. I'm saying
there's no real reason why it has a 17% on Rotten Tomatoes.
No, I agree. I think it's all those things kind of pile on ahead of time to giant, like, opposing force that the movie, no matter how good or bad it is, can't possibly stand on its own. Now, if you were to chip away at a couple of those things, if you took Sandler out of it and made it something else with any other cast of characters,
of course the expectations would be different.
It probably would have been fine.
It probably been just fine. Like a movie we forgot about. Yeah, we all just didn't
actually care. What if it had been who would be a good lead? Not who's a good,
like, make it Josh Gad as the main character. Like, Josh Gad was like rising up, and like, and he's
yeah. Well, he wouldn't have had the name brand, but somebody like that, somebody who is
he's a fat schlub. I mean, like, not the conspiracy theory character.
Well, I'm talking about the movie aspect of, you need to have somebody who's a name brand enough who can carry their own movie, who's not already in that club.
See, and I think that's fucking Sony's problem right now. Is like, you don't need to do that anymore.
Oh no, I think if you're going to spend $100 million on a movie, you need to have somebody who can carry the banner.
Do we?
Yeah.
Do we? Like, I mean, like, sure. I mean, we see that with some of the Marvel stuff. I mean, the Marvel train is happening. So, like, whoever's going to actually take over for the Avengers or whatever.
Well, how about this? How about if it had just been, let's do Chuck on the big screen, Zachary Levi as the lead in Pixels?
Yeah. That'd be enough.
Every other character is the same, even Kevin James.
Because what is he known for except for Chuck?
Now Shazam.
Shazam. They spent $1 million on that suit.
I believe it.
On the suit alone, they spent $1 million. So that means that DC took a huge risk with Zachary Levi, who, as far as everyone else knows, was
in Chuck.
It was in Chuck, and also the best friend that Thor couldn't protect, who got killed in the beginning of
the first 30 seconds of Ragnarok.
So. And if it makes money, it makes money. It's like, finally, people are realizing they can actually just get talented people to do this shit.
Yeah,
Ryan Reynolds was like a household name in a bunch of romance shit.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, actually, he might have even worked if he was the lead in Pixels. I think exactly he might have been better.
Yeah, no, he would have for sure. Yeah,
but to take I guess what's a modern parallel. In the same way that Matthew Broderick was like the lead in some of those movies back in the 80s.
Yeah.
He was likable and schlubby and whatever.
Yeah.
But marketable and bankable. Find that modern day equivalent, put him in the lead of Pixels. Again, keep every other character the exact same. Even Kevin James, definitely keep Nicholas Cage, was great.
Yeah.
And it would have had much, much, much less of headwind against it.
But that strange expectation, yeah?
Yeah. I think the Sandler stink is the big piece of that puzzle.
Well, I think, so that's what...
And then the Sony stink, Some of these think is more of a nitpicky for people who love to complain about movies.
Right. Well, it's like, let's look at Sandler like Arby's. It's like,
do I have to?
Well, no, that's what I mean, though. It's like, if Arby's changed everything that they did,
all the meats.
Let's say they changed all the meats. Let's say they started using food. You still wouldn't try it. Or you would, if you were walking, if we had to go to an Arby's. Let's say it was my bachelor party. We're like going to Arby's or whatever. And you're like, fine, and you had a good time there. Probably still want to find a reason to not like it as much because. It's Arby's. So it's like, and I'm trying to think of like some way of like the Sandler.
I love my big beef and cheddar.
The Sandler conundrum is basically the reason I even think about Pixels is because
I think it's a huge part of that puzzle.
Because the thing is that like Sandler made his bread and butter on making these really fucking dumb movies based on really dumb SNL characters. And the Red Letter Media guys brought it up too. Is like his most memorable character in SNL was Blank Man.
Yes.
Anything man. Yeah. Opera Man. Canteen Boy, and then Water Boy was a big breakout for him, whatever. Like Billy Madison, just the name of Happy Gilmore, just the fucking name of it. But those movies, don't mess with the Zohan or whatever,
which wasn't terrible.
I love that movie.
Yeah, it was good.
It was super schlocky, but it was Sandler.
Yeah.
And when Sandler is producing and writing and directing this, or whatever he actually does when it comes to his own movies, you have a 50-50 chance of saying this is going to be stupid or that was stupid. It's going to be stupid is the expectation that people get fucking fucked up on. Because, again, an actual action thing where he's running around and jumping and doing some stuff and there's validation and, finally finds out that he wasn't, that Dinklage cheated somehow. And then that ruination of saying, well, what a piece of shit. Because Jack and Jill, very good criticism of Jack and Jill because it was obviously just a fucking shill the whole time.
Yeah.
Like a con. Yeah. And that makes sense. But attacking, don't mess with the Zohan, it's just a dumb Sandler movie.
Yeah.
The last time he probably had fun making a movie, what it looks like, So, how can he can't live in both worlds unless someone else is writing his character.
No, and I agree. I didn't want to talk about Sandler for half an hour, but I'm okay doing that.
Sure.
And I guess here's maybe a nerd / fan / movie personality talking about this. We all applaud the fact that we are talking about Adam Sandler for 30-year career making movies that are dumb and stupid.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
But I think that also might be part of the problem is that the using this word correctly, retardation of his craft.
Sure.
He never tried to. Well, actually, that's not true. He did try briefly in the early 2000s to expand into some more dramatic roles and got good reviews. Did okay.
Well, as an actor, as long as someone else.
Punch Drunk Love and
Spanglish, Funny People,
50 Days,
50 First Dates.
No, not 50 First Dates. The one with the cancer. Gordon Levitt and Seth.
Yeah. Wait, no, that was Gordon Levitt and
Seth Rogen.
That was Seth Rogen.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yes, Spanglish was actually pretty good.
Yeah, Funny People was the one where he was with
Anger Management. Was,
Oh yeah.
With Jack Nicholson.
With Jack Nicholson. Yeah.
So he tried his hand at drama.
Yeah.
Did well, but then chose to just go oobity boobity doobity bear,
which is what he always did before.
I know, and I think that's what people are maybe upset about a little bit because clearly you can see the Grown Ups 2 where they make a duty reference, and it's just him sitting in on a beach chair with his friends, not caring, not even trying.
Yeah,
he's just making movies to get paid to take his friends on vacation.
Yeah.
And I think the fans who grew up with him, liking him, and those who even respected twists and turns, just go, really? Fuck you.
That's what I mean. That's a conundrum. It's okay. So
he dug his own grave in that regard.
Right. Well, I mean, I feel like it's the fans' fault. I wouldn't even be surprised if the reason why he's been doing those kinds of movies is because he's probably tired of trying to be goofy and fun because everyone fucking hates Paul Blart Mallflower, for the same kind of goofy bullshit that works in the Medea movies. Or that works in whatever. Again, Jack and Jill being its own, truly, look at that piece of shit.
Well, that and his whole Netflix deal with the Ridiculous Six.
Oh, sure.
Which
I hadn't seen any of those.
I did defend parts of, but not his part. And I think I defended when it first came out. on the old show. I think I defended almost every aspect about that movie except for everything Adam Sandler was doing in that movie.
Right. Okay.
Then he did another one with David Spade that actually was, I thought was a pretty good movie. It's called The Do-Over.
Oh, right. Yeah.
This is also part of his Netflix deal.
Yeah.
I actually really enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny. I thought it was a good movie, and also kind of, but it was different from the Grown Ups. Maybe it had one friend, but it was more of a actiony comedy buddy weird movie.
Right.
It wasn't a dumb movie.
Right.
And Adam Sandler was still basically Adam Sandler, but he wasn't. He was the asshole version of Adam Sandler. He wasn't the goofy retard version of Adam Sandler.
Okay, sure.
So,
I forgot about Bulletproof.
that was like 96.
Yeah, which was awesome.
It was a great movie.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah. So,
Anyway.
Yeah. But that was my takeaway. Like watching this and thinking, like,
Pixels got a lot of shit. Pixels got way too much shit.
Way too much shit. It did not deserve for people to fucking call it the biggest abomination of all time.
Oh no, that's Ghostbusters.
Yes.
2016.
Yeah, 2016.
Answer the call.
So fucking weird.
Or The Last Jedi. No, Ghostbusters definitely wins.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, because Last Jedi was at least some kind of an attempt.
At least it was visually beautiful.
It was. Didn't retcon so fucking much.
But Ghostbusters really is a turd.
If we're talking about Star Wars too, like obviously, I mean, we could talk about the trailer, the new trailer for what was it the
Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker. Which is hilarious too, because it really, like Ryan Johnson did say they can retcon whatever. Like they're totally fine with it. So fine.
It looks like they might be. Hard to say. I guess there's stuff that they're using from. There's Leia will be in this, even though she's dead. But they're using found footage that they cut out. So I'm really curious to see how much they kind of. They won't retcon because it's too soon.
I literally just want I want fucking Finn to come up to Rey and like wake her up and say like that whole last movie was a dream.
Man, that would be great.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
That would be so awesome.
Yeah.
Or if like that all happened in Finn's head while he was like in his hyperbaric chamber. Or
Yeah. Oh, what happened? Oh, nothing. We're still trying to escape the fucking the Empire is on our back.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Now, dare to dream.
That's why I put on the contentpendingtheshow.com. That's why I post a thing. It's like Star Wars 9 Fast, 9 Furious. Because the whole thing just looks like, oh, let's just do... Remember when action was fun? Let's just do a whole action movie. The whole thing will be action.
It's all about family.
Rey's going to... Yeah, it's all about family. Rey's going to jump over a fucking X-Wing that's coming out. She's going to slash it or ride it. What the fuck? And then goofy, dumb Palpatine-sounding voice. Maybe it's Sidious. Maybe it's someone interesting. I'm hoping it's Jar Jar. Who gives a shit at this point? Because Star Wars is, like Rich Evans says, completely fucking morally bankrupt. Like, there's nothing there anymore. Like, it's dead.
Yeah.
Because, like, even to the point, like, man, because it was the one thing I liked about the first order. What was a little side movie that super sucked?
Rogue One?
Star Wars Rogue One, yeah. Oh, I fucking hate that movie so much.
I'm telling you, watch it again. It gets. I won't say it gets better, but it gets less sucky.
Well, probably, but it's also...
That might be comparatively speaking at this point.
It's also drab and patently boring, and there's only one character arc, and it's the robot. Like, everything about it's just, like, very frustrating.
Yeah.
But, like, there's... The one thing that really works in that movie is just, like, being at the ground level on some crappy little thing, and, like, stormtroopers walking around. Yeah. And that's the thing that never works for people, because they're like, oh, our stormtroopers have to be anything. Yeah, of course they do. They're the fucking military. It's the whole point. It's like, what you see them as is...
They're rebellion against the army.
Right, right. But whatever. Then they're like, hey, this guy has a bow, and he's amazing. And then he talks about the Force the entire time and never explains what the fucking Force is the entire time, and then he dies. Great. What a great movie.
No, it sucked. We did not get... again, on the old show, we had a friend of the show, Adam Sweeney, on. And he had the best remake of Star Wars that we did not record. Of Rogue One.
Of Rogue One, yeah. We just talked about it, yeah.
We didn't record it because it was after we did the show. But he had the best version of that, which was fantastic. He was like, where the old man actually like did get the Force.
Yeah, well, at least from a distance can pull the fucking switch.
Yeah.
Oh my God, all of his...
just that one scene, the idea of like the whole time you have this guy talking about the Force. He's a true believer.
Yeah.
and then instead of walking across the field and like falling on his
right,
actually like reaching out and the Force touch. You can do the whole music, like you can do the whole music, and then he actually does pull it.
Yeah.
And like
saves the fucking day.
And he actually believes to a point where he actually touches the Force and then uses the Force instead of I'm just gonna fall on this and then old guy trying to shoot things. And
because the problem with that movie is the same. I mean, we had this conversation.
Sorry, we're rambling. Right?
Totally fine. But we had this conversation a billion times of like the idea of having a movie a movie should be self-contained. Mm-hmm. And the biggest problem with that movie specifically is they just talk about all this stuff that if you don't know any of the other movies at all, then you just don't know what the fuck's going on. But even worse than that, you have this character, this main character, this fucking Asian dude who knows kung fu, who's blind, who has a staff, who's like beating the shit out of stormtroopers somehow. Whatever. Get all past it. Because action, fun. Who, because we don't know what the Force is, even if you'd seen it, and you know that it doesn't work for him, like some people say, like, well, of course, the Force used midichlorians or Force to touch or whatever. No, he looks like a conspiracy theorist. At the end of the movie, he looks like a fucking crazy person because everyone around him is like, oh man, he died like an idiot. Mm-hmm. They all died like idiots at the end of that fucking movie.
Well, that like the whole time, like, which was true even from the first from A New Hope. Like, they're constantly saying as a motto, "May the Force be with you." They didn't have the Force; they just used that as a slogan.
That was a concept of the religion, faith, or whatever. Yeah.
In this case, you have the one guy, the blind, prophet there, who believes it so hard.
Yeah.
That. In the Sweeney's credit, he should have touched the Force. And
it should have like been validated by it.
Instead, he just dies.
He just dies. Yeah.
Which
he just dies. They all get blasted. They're all on the beach. The fucking weird guy in the black Oakland Raiders helmet like chokes some dude and makes a dad joke. Like everything about that movie was just
don't choke on your words.
Great, good job, everybody.
So Pixels.
So Pixels.
Although, if we still have we still have time.
Yeah, we have another 20 minutes.
Oh, okay, great. So if you want to talk about truly bad entertainment, I have found the worst thing that's ever been put to film.
Okay, cool. Well, let's take a quick break.
Yeah.
And let's hear what you got. Bye-bye.
To the point.
Worse than Two Broke Girls?
Oh, yes. No.
Welcome back to the show, buddy.
All right. So the worst thing ever put to film.
Yes, hit me.
It's this horrible new show on TV called Abby's Place.
Abby's Bar?
Yeah.
Abby's Bar?
So I watched the pilot because whatever, I was bored, and it was on Hulu.
Isn't that Tom Hagerford's girlfriend?
Yes,
from Parks and Rec?
it has her in it. It's like, yeah, I like her. She's cool. Natalie Morales.
Yeah.
So it has her. It has like the janitor from Scrubs. I'm like, oh, okay. Two people I enjoy.
Wait, so if you remember this is a story about a person who decides to open a bar in her backyard.
Correct.
I don't know the plot beyond that, but probably for some kind of money reason, she...
That's irrelevant.
Well, no, sure. Again, I know nothing except for just the picture of what I saw. So, like, see how close I am. That she gets her friends to try to... she needs money, right?
All right, you're close.
Okay, she doesn't need money.
No. The backyard bar just already exists.
Oh, okay.
The foil is the person who owns the house, like, I guess, dies, and her grandson shows up and goes, "You can't run a bar back here," and comedy ensues.
Okay, cool.
It is literally the worst piece of sitcom trash I've ever seen. To the point.
Worse than Two Broke Girls?
Oh, yes. No, to the point.
Do you?
Oh, to the point.
Okay.
I thought it was a joke. Like, I thought... here's how bad it gets. Like, the bar itself is filmed on a soundstage. It's obviously filmed on a soundstage.
Okay.
And like during the bumpers, when they go into commercials, they actually show like the audience and the lights around the stage.
Oh God, no! Really?
So I'm thinking, so the first 15 minutes of the show is like the setups, the punchlines, all the jokes are like super bad 90s sitcom shit laugh writing.
Right.
They do the bumpers. They show the audience. They show the stage. I'm like,
interesting.
Wait, is this
part of it? Yeah.
Is this part of it?
Yeah.
No. I kept waiting for that reveal.
Wait. Have you watched the whole season yet?
Oh, there's only like 2 episodes.
Okay, so watch the whole season. Maybe there's some like
no.
Maybe there's like there's a Tommy Westfall kind of universe where like or like a Good Place where like there's a big.
If they did that, I would buy it.
Yeah, sure.
But they didn't. Like they kept like the writing is so bad. It's so sitcom.
Yep.
2-beat punch. Brr, brr, brr. You have like a fat guy on a stool. You have the old grouchy person over here. It's like the worst trope of all tropes.
Okay.
And then you have like the
right.
You have the foils. The son comes in. He goes, well, you can't have a bar section. Blah 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 blah. And then they do a punchline. They do a joke. They do a thing. And it's so bad. And then really what caught me was the cutaways to showing like the studio, the stage, and the audience. Like, if they at any point just stop and like pull away and go, man, this show is really bombing tonight. Or if they did that, if they pulled away and said, no, these are actors. If they just pulled away and said, this is a really bad sitcom we're doing here, and then went off script, off stage, I would buy into it because it's that bad.
All right, so I know how to fix this. I know how to fix this. I don't know if any producers of the show are listening, but here's how you fix this. Wait till the very last episode of whatever season you get, or right before you're canceled or whatever, and then in the very last episode, have someone off screen say, cut, and it's David Cross. It's an episode. It's one really long episode of Mr. Show. We're back. Mr. Show is back, and this whole thing's been a ruse, and that's the only reason you see the fucking... There's no reason to show the audience. It's not a fucking game show. What the fuck?
Oh, no, again, those just the sweeping cutaways when they go to commercial.
Sure. Yeah.
It's like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
If you're doing it to reveal this is not really a show, this is
Adobe Premiere has fade effects. Like you don't have to use the camera for everything. Or maybe the guy who maybe the producer like or their visual effects guy like ran out of money for his Adobe suite. He couldn't do the fades the last minute. So the episodes went to fucking air and they're like, no one will notice. God, that sucks.
I will say I recommend
watching an episode right now.
Watch the pilot episode.
Okay.
Just so you can experience what I'm talking about. 'Cause it's really hard to articulate. We're hyperbolic here on the show often.
Yeah.
But if you have ever watched a sitcom if you've ever watched a failed sitcom from the 90s,
yeah,
it's like they just took one of those scripts and just put it and said, "This is the thing now, right?" Like,
almost in a satirical way, right? Yeah.
Well, again, if they'd ever reveal this is a fake, you go, "This is brilliant. I love it." But they stick to their guns. It's like, no, this is a real thing.
It's so bad that it's almost art.
If they reveal,
if they just earned it.
If they just pull a Truman Show and like, no, this is just
right. Zoom out to Tom Hanks, like just watching TV and saying, like, I don't get it.
That's all I have to do.
Yeah,
anything.
Now it's part of the 30 Rock universe.
Actually, honestly, if they had at any point just said, "Okay, cut. That's a wrap, you guys, for the episode," just do that, and I'd buy in. Otherwise, it really is someone took a failed sitcom from 1994, like a fake Friends.
Right.
It's like, oh, your thing takes place in a coffee shop. We're gonna use a backyard bar.
I want to know more about this thing. I'm gonna dive into it because, like, I told you about Rob Lowe had a failed project where like
many failed.
Well, sure. He had this failed project at some point where he was, I think it was a lawyer drama thing, but the dialogue was just so dumb and so bad and so weird that they got canceled, and they decided to just continue to film it just for
you
fun.
mentioned this before, yeah.
And so the very last episode of the show, like a main character walks in and to talk to him, even though like they were canceled, but they had to do the rest of it, so they just didn't care about what the writing was. So this person walks into Rob Lowe's office and says, "I know what you've been doing, and I'm going to call you out on it." And Rob Lowe just like stands up, stabs the person in the neck with a steak knife that he was cutting, and then jumps out the window. And that's the end of the series. And it doesn't exist. You can't see it because it got canceled before it came to air. And man, I would die for that, because it's like Darth Varingi's or Dark Place or Art Varingi or whatever. Like that level of just, it shouldn't exist, so it must be a joke. Waiting for the art, like.
Yeah.
So surely it's some version of that. Like, there's no way people make those kind of mistakes.
It really is like watching a fake Friends.
Sure. Yeah.
but not
Chums.
not ironically. Yeah,
Yeah.
chums,
Comrades.
chum. Yeah, I'll see you in May for sweeps. That's when we clean our floors in England.
I hate everything about you.
If anyone's gonna be named Wesley Snipes, who do you think's gonna be?
Let's go to wrap it up. Dylan, anything we missed this week that we want to talk about?
F1.
Sure. Vroom vroom.
Yeah. No, I think we covered it. Pixels.
Yeah, Pixels. We got some Star Wars in there. We got
Some Steve Bannon.
Underdeveloped Steve Bannon audience.
Yeah.
And then of course we got Abby's Bar.
I think we covered it all.
Yeah, we got it. Well, thanks so much as always for helping me run the show.
Yay.
And if you like this show, you want to know more about the show, you can go to contentpenny.com. It's contentpenny.com. You can see all the shows we've done in the past, as well as our original Drunkcast and this show, Content Penny the Show. Go see what you like and go comment on any of the posts. If you want to send us more information, you can go to Content Penning the Show on Facebook. You can go to CP_ the show on Twitter. You can find us on contentpenning.com on Instagram. Find us at whatever and react to it and share it with your friends. If you like the show, please share it with your friends. Of course, you can always go to Apple. You can always go to the mecca of podcasts and just give us a little comment. Figure out Spotify. We were on Spotify. We're on the Google Play Store. We're on the YouTubes. If you have a smart speaker or a smart device, you can just go to your smart device and say, "Hey, play Content Pending podcast," and that will come up too. Please go try those things out, but just try to engage with us. Come back and tell us what you like. If you don't want to do any of those things on social media and you have a phone, I don't know if you have a phone, if you listen to this, 802-359-7468. It's 802-359-SHOT. You can leave a voicemail or a text message and we will respond in kind. Of course, questions at contentpenny.com and etc. And I love you, and Travis, and good night. Bye-bye.